Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton joins me now. Senator, first of all, I just want to get your top line reaction to these numbers that we're hearing.
Harris, these are astonishing surges in illegal immigration at our border. As we heard from Bill, there was a record in 2021, the highest number of illegal immigrants encountered at our border in 22 years. And those are just the ones that the Border Patrol encountered, not the ones that got away. But apparently Joe Biden is not resting on his laurels after setting the record last year. He wants to break his own record in 2022. We might have more than 2 million illegals crossing our border this year. And as you said, Harris, those are not people seeking asylum from persecution. They're coming for one reason. That's because they know that Joe Biden will let them in. That's dangerous for America because many times they're smuggling in drugs as well. There are gang members or other kinds of criminals that are crossing our uncontrolled border.
Yeah, I mean, they know that they can mix in with the pack. And we can't catch them all. And without Title 42, I don't know how much COVID testing we're doing anyway. But we're at a real standpoint now in terms of trying to slow that disease down, that virus down, if this onslaught is coming.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Only a blinkered ideologue like Joe Biden and the Democratic Party could think there's no pandemic at our border with no cases coming across into our country, yet they still insist that American toddlers wear masks when they travel on airplanes and trains.
Oh, and there's so much hypocrisy in all of it. So much. It's what they want politically. All right, speaking of COVID, let's get to this. Dr. Anthony Fauci now warning that people should be prepared for renewed COVID restrictions as we see a new variant emerge and cases on the rise again. Let's watch.
I don't want to use the word lockdowns. That has a charged element to it, but I believe that we must keep our eye on the pattern of what we're seeing with infections. We should be prepared and flexible enough to pivot towards going back, at least temporarily, to a more rigid type of a restriction, such as requiring masks indoor.
You should be prepared and nimble enough to get to the border and talk about those things. A new national poll finds a majority of Americans do not support a return to masking and social distancing guidance. A whopping 62% say they oppose it. But the party breakdown shows a different story. 62% of Democrats support bringing back those restrictions. Very few Republicans want to see that. Meanwhile, 21 states are now suing the Biden administration over mask mandates on public transportation. Senator Tommy Tuberville with this.
The masks that people are wearing in airports and schools, they don't work. They don't help. And so it's control. You know that. It's controlled by the federal government. They want to control everything you do.
Senator Cotton, what do you say to the American people right now? I mean, we know a majority of them are still just, out of obligation, wearing their masks kind of half down their nose, their cloth masks. Tuberville has such a good point. What they are choosing to do wouldn't help anyway.
Well, the American people are very sensible about these things. They have what I think is the correct risk calculus. They recognize that coronavirus is now going to be endemic in our society, meaning it's always going to be present, and we'll have to deal with it in the same way we deal with the common cold and the flu and other diseases. But we cannot continue to upend our life, or as Tony Fauci says, be prepared for the next surge in which he's going to tell us that we all have to wear masks and stay out of public places and shut down our businesses. Tony Fauci should be prepared to answer questions to the American people about why he lied to Congress and about how his agency funded those labs in Wuhan when Republicans take back Congress this fall, because that's exactly where he's going to be in January.
All right, let's move to this. Bank records reportedly show Hunter Biden received $100,000 from a Chinese energy firm not that long ago, 2017. Republican Senators Ron Johnson, Chuck Grassley revealing the financial documents on the Senate floor this week.
There is no middleman in this transaction. This is $100,000 from what is effectively an arm of the Communist Chinese government direct to Hunter Biden. To the liberal media and my Democrat colleagues, is this official bank document Russian disinformation?
Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz also entered a copy of Hunter's abandoned laptop hard drive into the congressional records. Republicans promise an investigation if they retake the majority. Let's pause there to my team. I want to go back to Senator Cotton. Your reaction.
Yeah, Harris, speaking of people who should be prepared to testify to Congress in January when Republicans are in charge, Hunter Biden will be at the top of that list, as will James Biden, the president's brother, and Devin Archer, their business partner. The media and big tech suppressed this story in October of 2020 because they were afraid it would hurt Joe Biden's electoral chances. They now acknowledge it to be true. Those are some other good executives that might want to come in to testify about what they did to call this, as Chuck Grassley just said, Russian disinformation, when in reality it was always clear that it was true from the beginning. Hunter Biden has been feathering the Biden family nest for decades off of his father's public service, and the American people deserve answers about exactly what was happening and, for all we know, what could be happening right now.
So, Senator, real quickly before I let you go, because I've made the point many times, the reason why we care about this story is nonpartisan. And as a journalist, you always want to be able to say that you found every way possible to see the facts around vulnerability with the man who leads the nation and arguably the free world. This is a conduit of vulnerability if Hunter Biden is doing what?
Well, if he's accepting 6 and 7 and 8-figure payoffs from foreign oligarchs and governments, as he has for years, Harris, for almost as long as Hunter Biden has been a grown adult, he has been trading off of his father's public service, first in the Senate, then as vice president. Do we really think that that bird is going to change his feathers when his father gets the biggest job of all? You could say the same thing for Joe Biden's brother as well. The American people deserve answers to this.
Senator Tom Cotton, great state of Arkansas, thank you for being in focus.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.